Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Coming in and sitting down because today we're talking about more alternative health solutions. Are you a disgusting, dare I say, dying human being right now? Like myself? I'm writhing away. I'm crumbling in on myself. It's disgusting. So I wanted to take time to look at some of the other health alternatives out there. Is there more pee in this one?
No.
We're taking steps in the right direction. What about poo?
No poo?
In a way, I'm slightly disappointed. Nowadays, it seems like everyone is trying to find a new undiscovered way to improve their health. We've talked about alternative health methods in the past, and boy, are there plenty more where that came from. It seems that no matter what your health concern is, there's some random person on the internet that's already figured out a simple solution. Like people using bleach and turpentine to cure autism. Jeezy. It's a witch's brew.
This was in 2019 too.
I needed to come back right now. I need a cure for the tisms for me, Angie, or everyone in this place. I think it's got a little bleach, a little turpentine. Then we can finally throw away the fidget spinners and, you know, everything else that we used to stim in this. I'm not gonna list all the things we used to stim in this building, but it's a lot. So I thought today we'd talk about some of the crazy alternative health trends and some of the bizarre health gurus promoting them.
So this is how I got these. Breath work.
First up, let's talk about one of the alternative health methods that claim to replace actual medical treatment, like psychic surgery, aka pretend surgery. People pretend to do surgery on you and it makes you feel better. What was that, like the phantom pain, whatever? Do you think it's something like that? The only reason I even know about this is because of the House episode where he like lives by a Canadian Vietnam vet or something. House like keeps him captive in his house. He like locks him up and he's like, open your hand. And he's like, there's a mirror to it on his hand that he doesn't have one here. And he just, and it heals him. Finally. It's the only reason why I know what phantom pain is.
And then the Phantom Menace.
Dun, 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 dun. The best character in Star Wars Episode 1. I don't want to hear any gripe in the comments. It's Sebulba. Love Sebulba. Walks in his hands like his like weird little basset hound face. He's like, he's a little cocksucker. He's an asshole. Anyways, first up, we're talking about psychic surgery, aka pretend surgery. The phrase psychic surgery refers to a pseudoscience that involves simulating surgical procedures with fast hand movements and an assortment of props like fake blood and animal parts. Don't traumatize me. Operation success! I'd be fucked up when I didn't see anything. You worked on me? Oh yeah. Which psychic surgery is a spiritual practice originated from Brazil and the Philippines, using the placebo effect to convince people that they have been healed. This often leads to the death of innocent people who put off serious medical procedures that could have easily saved their lives. It's like, what is it, the Man on the Moon, whatever, the Jim Carrey one, where it's like the people faking, they're like pulling out like fake stuff, and he like looks over and realizes it's not real. Gotta play Operation with yourself. One of the most well-known practitioners of psychic surgery is a man referred to as John of God.
At least he's not proclaiming he's God.
I'm a John of God.
But there's nothing godly about him.
A man living in Brazil that sees patients from all across the world who travel to receive his care. During procedures, he goes into trance-like states, channeling the power of God, spirits, and dead doctors from the past to help those in need. Free of charge! Although, he does accept donations. He's like, no, seriously, it's free. Just saved your life. It's like a guilt trip, I bet. No, I mean, it's whatever. You healed? You feel good? I feel great. Pay it forward. Oh, do you want me to pay you? No, not me. I'd like to think that a guy like John of God he's channeling like a House kind of character, him yelling at the person, they're like slipping in and out of consciousness with like laughing gas. You're gonna be just fine. I'm a doctor. If someone's using anesthesia on you, if someone like put on a clown mask and they were like, welcome to hell, would that induce like a nightmare?
Do you dream on anesthesia?
I don't know. I've only been on it once, and then like I'm horrified to go on it now. I hate people telling me shit, because now I'm like, if I ever have a surgery, I'm just like, let me die. I mean, one of the cases where I don't come out of it, you gotta be like an old head, dude. Like my mom, it barely happens. They just don't care. Instead of giving people anesthetics, he would provide them energized water, as well as having assistants meditate nearby to provide spiritual energy. It's like 3 5-hour energies. You're gonna want to slam this. Despite the silliness of the practice, he was notable enough to show up on Oprah Winfrey's show, and after this, he skyrocketed into international fame. Even though he's getting international, fame and all that stuff because Oprah. Hey, well, you go on Oprah show. Isn't that where Dr. Phil came from too? And Dr. Oz even? The fuck's up with all these doctors? Dude. This practice was believed to be doing more harm than good, convincing people they were healed to the point of avoiding real medical treatment. And in the 70s, the FTC called it a total hoax, warning travel agencies not to encourage booking tours of psychic surgeries.
That's big pharma trying to shut you down.
That is big pharma. Oh, I'm sorry. Tylenol's pissed, dude. Tylenol's just like, stop it. Andy Kaufman had gone to the Philippines, hoping to use a string of psychic surgery sessions to cure his metastatic lung cancer. There was no noticeable difference, and the cancer took his life soon after. Okay, here it is, Man on the Moon. That's what it was then. Because they're actually like, oh, I'm pulling out the sickness.
Tricking your brain to be like, I'm good.
In reality, what John was doing was much, much darker. His real name was Joao Teixeira de Faria, and he was accused in 2018 of sexually abusing nearly 600 women.
So he just grabbed a little titty while he was pulling out an organ.
That's what it kind of sounds like, right? He's like a little clown show thing. Smell the flower. Faria would lure women who were desperate for the miracle medical aid, only to be given a private session at his spiritual hospital. There, he would sexually abuse them. Okay. The age range of his victims would range from 9 to 67 years old. He's like, if it walks, you can get a private session with me. God damn!
At least he didn't discriminate.
What a disgusting thing to say, you rat f. And Faria denied everything. And years later, he was sentenced to 118 years in prison. And you can start to see how some of these health practices became harmful. Often medical misinformation can lead to further harm and even death. Speaking of which, how about we talk about apitherapy, also known as injecting yourself with bee venom.
That doesn't seem bad.
Inject yourself with bee venom?
Yeah.
Why?
There might be some kind of like healing property or
Yeah, but couldn't you say that about anything? You drink a gallon of piss. It comes from the human body.
it's waste.
It's bee venom.
I don't know what's in bee venom.
Dude, don't put it in you. What are you talking about? It came from a bee, not from a human. It's bee waste. It's literally bee poison. I don't know. Could be good. The practice of apitherapy involves utilizing chemicals found inside bee products. This may include bee venom, honey, beeswax, and more. I mean, you know, sure. Go inject honey into your veins then, dude. Do it. Apitherapy can be simple as eating honey for its health benefits, but as dangerous as injecting bee venom directly into your bloodstream. Whenever you get stung by a bee, does it go into your bloodstream?
Yeah.
So it'd have to, right? It's a syringe worth, though. A bee is this big. If you had a concert, you're like, I need fucking more. I don't think it'd be good. Which the actor Gerard Butler, 300, King Leonidas and much, had once attempted to inject himself with bee venom after a 12-hour-long day performing stunts for the movie Geostorm. He wanted to take advantage of the potential anti-inflammatory benefits. After he heard of a man injecting himself with bee venom, he decided to invite him to the set to perform it on him. And after injecting it, this is so stupid. I heard you inject yourself with bee venom. Yeah. I want you to do it to me. Anti-inflammatory. Dude, put on some icy hot like the rest of us. Hollywood actors are so full of themselves, man. My God. After being injected with it, he entered anaphylactic shock, and he describes his feeling during an interview. These are some quotes. It's awful. Creepy crawlies all over me. Swelled up, heart's going to explode, but I go through it, and then I find out he gave me 10 times too much. I like to think it was like a comically large, like Acme, like Looney Tunes deal. All right, Mr. Butler. Time for your medication. And for one 55-year-old woman, this treatment ultimately took her life. She'd been going to bee acupuncture sessions monthly for 2 years and experienced no adverse side effects. Bee acupuncture, dude? Maybe it is a holistic thing where it's like it's a bee, not big pharma. It's not big icy hot. In a social setting, would you say that out loud? Proudly? I don't think I'd tell anybody. Hey, I gotta go. Where are you going? Hey, you gotta go get the bee acupuncture. Because you know what it also kind of sounds like? Sounds like somebody just puts bees on your body.
I bet you that's what they do. They take live bees and just...
Do you think so? How the fuck are you going to catch a bee and then sit it down and be like, stinger? I bet you they have the bee venom, and I bet you they dip a little bit of it. Don't shake your head. Listen to me. I listen to your stupid bee thing. Listen to me. They dip it a little bit in a little jar, and they poke it in. But it's very minuscule. That seems more plausible than a guy like in a room full of bees spraying some of that fumigating dust everywhere. The person's like, laying on the bed. Shh. Yeah, this gets them real horned up.
Editor, who's right?
If it's Nick, I'm gonna kill myself. If it's Nick, put a gun to my head and shoot me. But suddenly, it all changed. After a session, she began wheezing and losing consciousness. She was hospitalized, where doctors found that her blood pressure dropped dramatically. She was put into a permanent coma and eventually dying of multi-organ failure weeks later. Bee products are seen to have a lot of potential, but the science isn't there yet. Anyone trying to utilize this type of treatment ends up doing so with a serious risk. Yeah, I don't know. Would you do bee treatment?
I would try one sting.
I would do one. Give me one bee sting and that's it. When's the last time you've been stung by a bee?
I think I was like 6th grade. I stepped on one.
Horrible. got stung on my finger, like right here when I was younger at a baseball tournament from like a hornet. And one of my buddy's dads, who was a cigarette smoker, he's like, I know how to treat this. I was smoking a cigarette. He took another one of his cigarettes and like unrolled the tobacco, and he was like putting it on my finger and shit and rubbing it in. And I was like, He's like, how does it feel? I was like, it feels the same. And he's like, water! And he brought water over. He took some of the ice from it. And he was like rubbing my finger, and he kept taking tobacco leaves and was pinching it in. He's like rubbing around like that. He's like, how about now? I feel like it made it worse. I was like, okay, yep, feels good. He's like, yeah, I got you. Also, I was like, it's not even regular tobacco. They're like Marlboros or something. I'm like, there's bleach and chemicals in it, dude.
I thought he was gonna like light a cigarette and then put it out.
Burn out. Yeah, that would just be child abuse. Yeah, all the other people are like, we didn't have any bees. If you thought that these health practices couldn't get any more bizarre, maybe it's time for us to talk about drinking colloidal silver. Colloidal.
Colloidal.
Yeah. Which colloidal silver is a liquid that consists of tiny silver particles. I feel like Bill Nye half the time. Colloidal silver is a liquid that consists of tiny silver particles. Bill.
The planet's on fire.
While this is pushed online as a dietary supplement, there's very little research to prove its supposed health benefits. Is this that thing of blue that you're talking about?
Oh no, that's
Methylene blue.
Methylamine thing, that's what RFK is drinking. My secret blue deal is your child have autism. Does your child have a peanut allergy? Take a squirt of this, but this your mouth. People believed using silver medically could treat infections and wounds. When? In the Middle Ages? It also kills werewolves. This was before the creation of antibiotics. While it seems to help with some skin wounds, it is more dangerous than people are led to believe. The side effects can be pretty alarming. It can cause organ damage, burning, pain in the hands and feet, psychosis, and even seizures. Jacob upstairs, a little epilepsy. Well, next time he has a seizure, I'm gonna get him some methylamine. But don't tell him. And don't tell OSHA. The most absurd side effect being that the buildup of silver inside of one's body causes the skin to become discolored. What results is a permanently bluish gray pigment in the skin. And I know exactly where we're going. The Papa Smurf dude. Paul Carrison is basically the poster child for the skin condition known as argyria. He had heard false claims about its health benefits and rejuvenation capabilities from a magazine, which led to him ingesting silver diluted into 10 ounces of water daily. God damn, dude.
He's looking good.
He's looking very good. He claimed that his acid reflux and arthritis completely vanished. And over time, however, the silver poisoning led to his skin becoming a sickly, bluish gray color. It's pretty gross, if I'm being honest. Looks like bad meat, like moldy bread or something. If someone hasn't gifted him an Infinity Gauntlet yet, that is bullshit. He was so sure that the silver had cured him that he kept taking it despite his skin color. And in fact, he started getting ionic foot baths to fix his skin color through detoxification, which is another untested and unproven pseudoscience. He's basically just like a walking Chernobyl victim. In 2013, Carrison died at the age of 62. He had endured a heart attack, which led to severe strokes as well as pneumonia. He ingested colloidal silver until the very end of his life. So he's just like, I'll be fine in 10 minutes. Just give me a breather. Speaking of eating things for medical benefits, let's talk about the ridiculous diets that have come from the world of alternative health.
Today, my friends and I are frying bull testicles. It's the veins for me.
Like eating raw chicken, which is just disgusting. Raw chicken is so gross. Even just like nice, like before you cook it, I hate touching it. Smelling it, it's, oh God.
I always worried that my chicken's rotten.
You smell it, you're like, is this sour? Yeah. I almost want to keep one that is bad so I can compare them. We gotta throw out that milk in the fridge, by the way. When we're done recording this, go over, unscrew that milk thing and smell it. Dude, you have to. I did it the other day. It was horrible. You gotta do it at least once. Believe it or not, many people have taken to eating raw chicken. It is believed that this is how humans are meant to eat, seeing as eating raw meat food is the closest you can get to nature and our ancestors. Millions and millions of years ago. Also, I'm pretty sure that they died off really quickly until a guy was like, I'm just gonna throw this into the fire and then eat it. And that's why we're still here. Despite the clear risks that come with eating raw chicken, like vomiting, diarrhea, parasites, and salmonella poisoning, there's been an alarming increase in search results for whether or not it's okay to ingest raw chicken. Online, you can find many influencers chowing down on raw chicken as commentators watch in disgust. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm not watching it. I've seen it before. I'm not watching it again. And one of these raw meat connoisseurs takes it to a whole new level. Scott lives in his fermented raw meat.
I feel like I maybe shouldn't,
but I'm going to because I dreamt about it.
Scott Lives is an influencer that swears by the practice of eating raw, fermented meat. It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Because also he has these jars, he opens them and smells them. It's disgusting. It's basically paste. It's just pieces of meat that are breaking down. I mean, it's rotten meat. It's just rotting, whatever. So like the blood and all the stuff in it, that's just from the meat disintegrating. It's disgusting.
You have to open them every day. If they pop and hiss, that's how you know it's progressing well.
People believe that this process results in an increase of concentrated vitamins and minerals, probiotic benefits, boosting immunity and reducing the risk of foodborne illnesses. Not only that, but people are actually finding that eating fermented meats is getting people high. That's the reason. According to a consultant dietitian that spoke to Vice, quote, "If you're leaving this out for anything from days to months to years, who knows what kinds of bacteria are going to grow? And some of those bacteria might have chemical properties that are going to give you a high or hallucination or a feeling of euphoria." So maybe that's also why people are like, I just feel so good. Holy shit. After I just vomited shit in my pants and just puked up blood, I feel great. This is awesome. But despite this, there's a wide range of bacteria being introduced to your system when ingesting rotten meat. This poses serious health risks, my friends. I feel like this is all obvious. Don't eat bad chicken. Yeah, dude. Scott will post videos himself showing off putrid, blackened, high meat he's been fermenting before ingesting it. Very often, he will talk about the immense amounts of diarrhea he's endured from this diet. It's always pretty funny. He's like, yeah, I had tons of diarrhea yesterday, but here we are checking it. He's like always in a parking lot, opening these things in like jars in the back of his car. It looks insane. But Scott doesn't shy away from chicken as well. In one video, he eats a raw fermented chicken meal while he once again explains that he has had constant diarrhea, but claims it's a good thing because it's one of the main ways to detox the body.
Well, I don't always have diarrhea, but I do go through phases where I do have diarrhea every day. Like diarrhea is the second strongest form of detox.
In some videos, he is clearly struggling to eat the meat, all while telling the camera about how good it tastes. You know, you gotta be like, it's so good. Like shaking. You know, it gets real when people start doing the shake. Along with his fermented meats, he eats a concoction he refers to as lube, a mixture of raw eggs, butter, and lemon juice. And according to Scott, this primal lifestyle can cure epilepsy, anxiety, asthma, vision impairment, dandruff, arthritis, dry skin, Crohn's disease, insomnia, autism, dizziness, paranoia, eczema, fatigue, and even schizophrenia, which Scott definitely does not have. Now, of course, Scott isn't just sharing his knowledge out of the goodness of his heart, right? That wouldn't be nice of him. Like most people claiming to have miracle health knowledge, he sells coaching sessions to make money off his teachings. Duh. Well, you're telling me the guy that lives in a park or is living out of his car with fermented jar meat, he has to sell coaching? Oh, okay, just making sure.
I mean, he's eating it, but do you think it's bullshit? Because I've seen videos of him like commenting on his fat, being like, oh no, it's actually healthy to be fat.
So you think that he's eating like Lay's potato chips and shit? He's not really eating the raw meat. Part of me wants to always say everything you see online is fake, is a lie. I think that those are probably real jars that he's smelling and he's throwing up, but I would probably say he doesn't eat a lot of it. I bet you anything that motherfucker's selling teaching classes and he's eating Little Debbie oatmeal cream cakes and all that kind of shit, you know what I mean? No, it's good to have this. Moving on, many people see results participating in the act of fasting. If you haven't fasted before, it's the worst thing. You'll lose weight, there's that, but you'll also go it's the fucking worst. And a recent deviation from this trend has emerged.
Hunger is different than starvation. Understand that, you fat f.
One that is far less safe I'm gonna talk to you about is called dry fasting. So all these little people were like, oh yeah, I fast for 2 days. You've done nothing. Have you dry fasted, bro? I doubt it. Dry fasting is when you avoid any type of liquid during your fasting period.
Oh my God.
I know. People believe this results in weight loss, cell regeneration, delayed aging, and reduced inflammation. How they thought that, I don't know who's coming up with the results of this, but you're already not eating. So usually during fasting, you're drinking a shit ton of water. Like it's like you're hydrating to the max. Usually it's eating off all of your fat storage. So people are like fasting, they're detoxing, and then like they're just like drinking tons of water and just like getting all the shit out of their system. And this, you're doing nothing. You're starving yourself. You're starving to death. It's basically just like, you ever see the movie 127 Hours? Yeah. You want to do that without your leg getting pinned? Sure. As it turns out, not a lot of data to prove any of these claims. However, dry fasting can lead to dehydration, which is proven to cause kidney problems as well as constipation, decreased focus, fatigue, and even headaches. The more serious risks of dry fasting include seizures, kidney failure, brain swelling, in some cases death. But come on. Gotta lose them pounds, dude. For people who want to avoid eating processed and unhealthy foods, they may be looking for something a little more extreme. For them, there's Breatharianism, the diet that consists of only air. Breatharianism is the ability to survive without the need of any type of sustenance, be it food or water. What the hell are we doing? Like, there's gonna be some guy just being like, I don't need steak or water. I'm just gonna. Oh my God, that's it, and I'm full. According to one couple, Akahi Ricardo and Camilla Costella, this sounds like some LA names, dude. They have been living off the universe's energy for 9 years. Bullshit. Bullshit. Aside from a piece of fruit and drinking vegetable broth 3 times a week, they live a fairly food-free lifestyle that they claim has allowed them to experience a variety of health benefits on top of lowering expenses. This extends to Costello's pregnancy, where she refused to eat for 9 months before giving birth to their youngest child. And throughout the entire process, she explains that her blood work all came out perfect. According to her, quote, I knew my son would be nourished enough by my love and that this would allow him to grow healthy in my womb. However, there's a catch, as there always is. Both Ricardo and Costella teach courses about breatharianism, which makes their news coverage more like advertisements for their lifestyle courses. Bet you anything, old Ricardo, he's slipping in and out every once in a while. He's getting to jungle style. They note that they do not force their children to practice breatharianism as well, which is probably for good reason considering that numerous deaths have resulted from their practice, from this practice. I don't want to say their practice.
They didn't make it up. That's crazy.
Well, they didn't make it up, but I'm just saying. They're pushing it. In 1999, a woman was found dead in the Scottish Highlands in her attempt to practice this religious act of breatharianism. She was taking a 21-day conversion course that involved denying all food and water. And after the 21 days, it is believed that the participant will no longer feel hunger or thirst again, ever. I'm serious. Mark it down. Forever. 21 days. Police found her near her tent in the fetal position after dying of starvation. How do you think that they went 9 years? She probably just didn't believe hard enough, I bet. That's probably why.
It's the broth and vegetable.
You gotta have at least broth. Broth's all you need to survive. There's a lot of calories in broth. With so many alternative health trends coming onto the main stage, you'd think it'd be hard to think of new, unique ones. But don't worry, there's plenty more. Let's talk about genital maxing. For example, ball slapping. You slap your balls? It hurts. It hurts good. Ooh. Oh, come on now. According to some health gurus, slapping your balls can have positive benefits. According to influencer and practitioner Troy Casey, it's an ancient kung fu practice that stimulates testosterone production. This means that it supposedly increases your semen production on top of increasing your chi. Supposedly, he does them after taking an ice bath, which results in feeling of euphoria. I think we said this last time. I'm never going to do a ice bath, so people stop asking me.
Why not?
It's cold. I don't want to do it.
Just dip your balls in the ice bath.
If I can dip my balls in the ice bath to where they get numb and I start ball slap maxing, then maybe I will. It goes without saying that Troy Casey also sells his products on his website on top of hosting his own health retreats. They always have something to sell, Nick.
Are you gonna make money?
Yeah, and it's bullshit, man, because we have a Patreon. Behind the scenes content's really cool. I'd hate for you to go and check it out and sign up. It's like, whatever. Yeah, I have some of my health tips on my Patreon, patreon.com/BK. It's no big deal. It's like they're like snakes, man. They always like, they're trying to sell you something. We feel we need to talk about the men too much. How about one for the ladies out there, huh? For the ladies out there, we have Vagisil, which is a facial for your vagina. Essentially, women have started raising the level of care given to their vulva. Damn. This includes exfoliating, moisturizing, massaging, and using many other products to cleanse that area. Getting a Vagisil supposedly benefits your skin health on top of giving women a new sense of confidence. I never understood that. If I cleaned up my cock and stuff, I don't think I'd just be like, I'm a new man. Would you?
If it looked good.
There's like a nice sheen to it now. Well, goddamn. Hey, they're good looking. Some people treat themselves to Vagisils from the comfort of their home, while others opt to seek a professional. Oh, this is crazy. This is diabolical. First off, I don't know what kind of like RoboCop technology this is. You know what it kind of looks like? A little bit to me, it's like an everything bagel. I got this facial, and it was like, those motherfuckers lay into you. They're just like, you need this. They're just like, yeah, your eyes are all crusty and dry. You're like, what? Oh, really? Is it really? But of course, genital maxing can get much, much more bizarre. So let's talk about the garlic suppository. for the vampires out there. Yeast infections are fungal infections found on the skin that result from excessive yeast on the skin or mucous membrane. Evidently, this can take place in a woman's south mouth. A south mouth is a diabolical way to refer to that. God damn, dude. Might as well just call it a thing of catcher's mitt. Holy hell, that is messed up. Because yeast infections are incredibly frustrating to deal with, people over time have tried home remedies to more easily get rid of them. One of them involves using garlic. I feel like I'm getting allergic to it myself.
What?
Garlic. Well, not allergic, but I feel like I get real gassy whenever I have garlic. Do I not?
You do.
Don't know why. And will I stop eating it? I absolutely won't, because I love garlic. So if you see me at a Buffalo Wild Wings, steer clear. That's all I gotta say. Essentially, some women have turned to shoving garlic inside themselves as a suppository. There it is. Like a blackjack dealer leaving the table, where they keep it there for hours on end. Supposedly, this method has been used far back as Egyptian times in 1550 BC. Although garlic is believed to have many healing properties across different cultures, there are not enough clinical studies to suggest that this is a reasonable method of removing yeast infections. You know what, dude? I say just let people shove fucking garlic. You gotta think, like a little pocket like that, why not, dude? I'd be treating that thing like a kangaroo pouch. But how about just something a little bit more obscure? Using black salve to treat skin cancer. Black salve, for people who don't know, has been seen by some to be effective alternative cancer treatment in the form of topical paste. It was discovered by Jesse Fell, an American surgeon, in the 1850s. This became a popular herbal treatment for skin cancer, although not properly tested and proven to be a reliable remedy. Over time, people began to discover that this supposed alternative health treatment was actually causing serious health problems. Black salve can cause the destruction of skin tissue, leaving behind dry, dead, and blackened tissue. Sometimes necrosis like this can lead to amputations. This does feel like a very mid 1800s thing. It'll either survive or we'll have to cut off every limb you have. No ifs, ands, or buts, and also I'm not washing my hands, because we don't know that that's a big deal yet. Other side effects of using black salve include intense pain, ulcerations, scarring, infections, deformity, and much more. While black salve is described as an easy-to-use miracle remedy, it is still not incredibly safe. Just want to say that. And you know what? I think on there, a little black salve, dude, we've been talking about slapping balls and polishing pussies and stuff like that. I think we're going to call it for today. All I got to say is this, dude. I'm sure that there's holistic ways of dealing with shit. You need big pharma for everything. Get rid of them. I don't like them. I don't. Even the guy who runs Tylenol. What's his name? Shoot him. I'm kidding. All I got to say is be careful with some of the holistic and at-home practices you use, because you never know. You could turn blue, or your pussy could look like a everything bagel, or your balls get swollen and frozen. I don't know. I'm not a health guy. I don't, look at me. I'm not healthy. Is that a way to end the video? Okay. That's all we have today, guys. Stay healthy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Benicio Riva is in Milan, Italy, for what may be life-changing medical treatments. A victim of type 1 neurofibromatosis, his body is covered with hundreds of itchy tumors. Decades have gone by without any effective treatment. But now, finally, there's a glimmer of hope.